Hi fam. So I am sorry for not bringing this to you on time. I know I promised to have this up 2 days ago, but then I literally forgot. So I'm a little bit late, but at least it's here. So we're looking into the gospel of the birth of Mary, the mother of Jesus, basically. Not the gospel, it's just the book. Anyway, it's the book. So I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters of the book. That's what I'm going to narrate to you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Leave a like, comment about this video and everything else. So let me dive right in. So from the get-go of this book, in chapter 1, we're introduced to the parents of Mary. That would be Joachim, who was of Galilee. These people were from Galilee and Nazareth. Yes. And then Anna, who was Mary's mother, whose people were from like Bethlehem. So we're introduced to those 2 characters. So according to this book, this couple was a well-loved one. They were good in the eyes of God. They were respectable people in society because of the way they acted and the way they interacted with others. So it says that they would divide their earnings into 3 portions. The first, they'll dedicate to the temple of God and the people who work in the temple. The second, they'll dedicate to anyone who was in need, to strangers, poor people, anyone who needed it. And the last third is the one that they used for their upkeep. So they were really upright people in the eyes of God. So here's the catch. They had been barren for 20 years. 20 years, upstanding citizens, very good, seen as good people by God, but they had no children. It's like a common theme in the Bible. You hear good people, but something always seems to be going wrong. Favored people, but something's wrong, especially this whole barren theme. It's always there. But I've seen later that this is an important thing. So they had been barren for 20 years. So it's the time for a festival. I'm forgetting the name. Was it a naming ceremony or something like that? I don't know. That was done in Jerusalem. And so Joachim and his kinsmen go to the temple to give the offering in Jerusalem. So when they go there, that is where we meet the bad guy, the bad character, Issachar. Issachar was the high priest at that time. You know, high priests are high up there. They are respected people. So he's there by the door, all high and mighty. He says Joachim with his king's people and says, "Where are you going with that offering? You don't belong here. You don't have any kids, so you do not belong here. God himself has deemed you unfit to have children. So your offering to God is not useful. He cannot accept your offering because he has scorned you." That's literally what he said. Issachar was insulting Joachim in front of everybody. Everybody. Stripping the grown man naked in front of everybody. Because of something that was out of his control. Literally, he went all, scripture says, woe to him who is a war, basically that, woe to him who does not give birth to a male child in Israel. Like, is it his fault though? Is it his fault? Issachar was he was mean. He was a bully. So he says this in front of everyone. Like, basically what he tells Joachim is, you don't belong here. Your offering is unworthy because you do not have children. So Joachim is embarrassed and he feels ashamed. So he leaves the scene, he leaves his kinsmen, everyone, and he goes and joins the shepherds and stays with the shepherds because he's even afraid to go back to his own people or to stand among his own people, because he was now afraid that everyone else would also judge him the same way Issachar had done. Like, everyone would condemn him in that way and rebuke him. It's so sad that people were so mean, like religious people were so mean. It's very sad. But basically that's what happens in chapter 1. So chapter 2 now of the book of Mary goes to where Joachim is still in Jerusalem, because the festival is still going on, but he's low-key, he's by himself. He's like by himself. He doesn't want to be with others because he just doesn't want to be judged and bullied. So When he's there, an angel comes to him, like next to him, and the book says he was troubled. So now I'm like, nigga, a whole angel is next to you and you're troubled. Instead of scared, shocked, I don't know any other word, bamboozled. I don't know. I feel like the word troubled for me was just like an understatement. If an angel was next to me, would I be troubled or would I be shocked? Anyway, so the angel is there. He appears to Joachim and Joachim is troubled. The angel says, "Don't be troubled, Joachim, because I've brought good news." So he's like, ignore everything Issachar said. He was wrong. God is listening to your prayers and he has decided to answer your prayers. And he has a reason why things have turned out the way they have for you. Literally, he said this sentence that I loved. He said, God is the avenger of sin, not of nature. That's literally like a direct quote of what the angel said. And then the angel went on to start explaining to Joachim that being barren wasn't bad. It was literally part of God's plan. He says God covers up a person's womb so that he can open it up in such a way that is more, well, fantastic, in a more beautiful way. He goes on to say, an example is Sarah. She's the mother of all nations, and yet she was barren for 80 years. She only gave back to Isaac when she was literally 80 years old. He says, he goes on to give other examples. Is like, look at Rachel, who was loved by Jacob. Rachel did not give birth for the longest time. She was also barren. But it is of Rachel that we got Joseph. Joseph, who later became an emperor in Egypt and literally saved so many people from a famine. So he was going on explaining that all those people in history who God had shut the womb up for, who God had seemingly made barren for some time, he only later on opened their womb, or basically made them not barren, so that it could be in such a way that they brought forth amazing people who did amazing things in history, basically. So God did this barren thing so that he can exalt you in front of people. People will scorn you right now, but when you finally give birth to someone who goes down in history as someone who's memorable, people will understand. They will be ashamed of having scorned you in the first place, basically. So he actually gave so many examples, even gave the example of Samson and Samuel, how their mothers had also been barren, but they became great people, born of barren women, you see. So he goes, don't worry, Joachim, your wife is going to give birth. When you get home, the sign is going to be she's going to be waiting for you at the gate, worried about why you did not come back with the others, why you're late, but she's going to be waiting for you and she's going to give birth. When she gives birth, she's going to give birth to a daughter and you will call her Mary. Now, this is where Mary comes in. So, unlike my regular Bible that makes me believe that Mary was just some random girl who was then chosen by God because she had good behavior to be the mother of Jesus, this book actually explains that Mary was born for the sole purpose of being the mother of Jesus. It was predestined that she would be the mother of Jesus. So the angel says, when she's born, you'll dedicate her to the temple as you had said. Like, as in historical parts in the Old Testament, you know how Samuel's mother said, if you give me a son, I'll dedicate him to your temple, to your work. That's literally what Joachim and his wife had been doing for years. When they would go to give offerings to God, they would say, if you bless us with the child, we'll dedicate this child to you. So the angel says, as you have said that you dedicate a child, you're going to your wife will give birth to Mary, and you will dedicate this child to the temple. She will be raised in the temple and will stay a virgin. She was not to interact with people of the community, but only those in the temple, so that she will not be corrupted, is what the angel said. She may not drink of anything or eat of anything that is considered unclean, were the strict instructions by the angels. So Joachim is just there listening. My man, you've been embarrassed, but God is about to smile on you. Not only is he going to bless you with a child, he will bless you with a child who has a purpose. Because it was at this time the angel actually went further to say she will also, the way she has been born of a barren woman, which will be a spectacular thing, she will also do something that is spectacular. Because she will be a pure child, she will also give birth to the Savior, Jesus Christ, through, well, as a virgin, basically, through virgin birth. So this whole virgin thing was already predicted and predestined before Mary was even conceived, according to this book. So those are the first 2 chapters of the book of the birth of Mary. Are you interested? Is it as interesting as I told you it is? I know it's interesting to me, but did you enjoy it? I will be bringing more chapters to you as we go in different episodes. Please like my video, comment what you think or what you took away from these 2 chapters, and subscribe. It won't kill you to subscribe. Even share my link so that other people subscribe. Guys, off topic, but look at my hair. These locks are becoming like Samson's hair. Not that I know what it looked like, but I feel like if Samson had hair, this is what it looked like. Beautiful. Anyway, so subscribe to my channel, guys, and comment and like and do all that other stuff. And I will bring more chapters to you. But basically, in conclusion, this is what I learned from those 2 chapters. People will count you out. Like, influential figures in society might bring you down or talk down on you, but it doesn't matter. Don't take it to heart, because God is the only person whose opinion truly matters, and he has good plans for you. You could be in a church where you're told the people who bring the most offering are the ones who will be most blessed by God, and because you're too poor to give more offering, you feel unworthy, you feel God won't bless you. Don't listen to these people. They're wrong. Issachar the high priest was wrong. God has a plan for you, and it is a plan that is fantastic, that is spectacular, that when he finally opens up that barren womb in your life, you will speak of the miracles that God has done for you. Bye.